What up, world? How big is your ask? You know, Steve Harvey mentions upping your ask all the time. The first time I heard him mention it, I couldn't really grasp the concept that he was trying to deliver. It wasn't until I came across the story of two beggars that I fully understood the point that he was trying to drive home. And I'm going to share that with you today. There was a man who worked at a corporate office. He really wanted a raise, but he didn't want to jeopardize his job. So he hadn't figured out exactly how to ask for that raise. One Friday, he won a raffle at work for $100. He decided on the way home to stop by a grocery store and pick up a few things. On his way in, he came across a beggar. The beggar looked at the man and said, "Hey man, I'm down on my luck, but if you can give anything, and I mean anything to help me out, I would really appreciate it." The man nodded his head and he went into the grocery store. Normally, he wouldn't give to a beggar, but today he was feeling good. He just won $100. So he decided to gather $10 worth of groceries and give it to the man. After he paid the cashier, he decided to throw $5 in with it. He walked out and he gave the money and the groceries to the man. The man was so grateful for what he had received. He hugged the man and said, thank you so much. And he ran off. The man was feeling good, smiling. He was amazed at how good it felt to give to someone else. On his way back in, he came across a second beggar. This beggar said, "Hey man, I could really use something to eat. Do you think you could help me out?" The man was still feeling good, so he agreed to get the man something to eat. But before he walked back into the store, the second beggar stopped him and said, "Do you think I could come in with you?" It struck the man as odd, but he was like, "I don't see why it's a problem. Sure, come on in." The second beggar walked in with the man and picked everything that he wanted off the shelf and placed it on the counter in front of the cashier. The total came up to $30. The man was shocked that the beggar had the audacity to ask him to do this much when he was just trying to be generous. But in that moment, something dawned on him, and he decided to pay for that man's groceries. The man shook his hand and thanked him, and he scurried out of the grocery store. After that, the man left the grocery store without buying anything for himself, and he drove home knowing exactly how he was going to ask for his raise. You see, he recognized the difference between the first and the second beggar. The first beggar asked for anything that could be given, and he got half of what the second beggar got. The second beggar dared to ask for exactly what he wanted, and that's exactly what he got. So the next day, the man walked into work, went straight to his boss's office, and asked for the raise that he wanted. And he got it. Now, how does that reflect into our lives? How are you asking? Are you asking for crumbs? Are you asking for whatever life can throw you and being grateful when you receive more on an occasion? Or are you asking for exactly what you want and making sure that you get it? Something to think about. This is gaining value, giving the self-worth. Like, comment, subscribe, share well. I holla.